I bet you didn't know the fascinating history behind Halloween. The story of Halloween begins long ago. It started with the ancient Celts. They lived in parts of Europe over 2,000 years ago. They celebrated a festival called Samhain. It marked the end of their harvest season. This was a time of year when the boundary between the living and the dead was believed to be blurred. Samhain fell on October 31st. This date marked the Celtic New Year's Eve. It was a time of both celebration and fear. The Celts believed that on this night ghosts of the dead returned to the world of the living. To appease these spirits, the Celts lit bonfires. They made offerings of food and crops. They also wore costumes, often made from animal skins. They did this to ward off evil spirits or to communicate with them. Samhain was a significant event in the Celtic calendar. It was a time to reflect on the past year. It was also a time to prepare for the darkness and uncertainty of winter. The festival was filled with rituals and traditions. These have influenced the way we celebrate Halloween today. The Celts' belief in the thinning veil between worlds on Samhain has resonated through time. It continues to shape our modern Halloween traditions. The festival provides a glimpse into the ancient world. It shows us how our ancestors sought to understand and cope with the mysteries of life and death. As the Roman Empire expanded, it encountered the Celts and their traditions. The Romans conquered Celtic lands. They ruled over them for centuries. This Roman influence had a significant impact on the evolution of Samhain. The Romans had their own festivals that shared similarities with Samhain. One such festival was Feralia. It was a day in late October when Romans commemorated the passing of the dead. Another Roman festival, Pomona, honoured the goddess of fruit and trees. It celebrated the harvest. The Romans incorporated elements of these festivals into Samhain. This blending of traditions created a unique cultural fusion. The Romans' pragmatic approach to incorporating local customs into their own practices helped ensure the continuation of Samhain's traditions. Though the Roman Empire eventually fell, the cultural fusion they initiated left a lasting impact on how the festival was celebrated. This blending of traditions laid the groundwork for the evolution of Halloween as we know it today. With the rise of Christianity in Europe, the Church sought to assimilate pagan traditions. They wanted people to adopt the new faith. In the 7th century, Pope Boniface IV designated November 1st as a day to honour all Christian martyrs. This day became known as All Saints' Day. Later in the 9th century, Pope Gregory IV expanded All Saints' Day. He made it a day to honour all saints, known or unknown. He also moved the celebration to November 1st. This coincided with the traditional date of Samhain. The Church's intention was to replace the pagan festival. They wanted people to focus on Christian teachings instead. However, the association of Samhain with the dead remained strong. The evening before All Saints' Day became known as All Hallows Eve, or Halloween. Despite the Church's efforts, the traditions of Samhain proved resilient. People continued to associate October 31st with the spirits of the dead. They practiced many of their old customs alongside the new Christian observances. This fusion of pagan and Christian traditions shaped the character of Halloween. It became a day of both religious observance and cultural celebration. Across the Atlantic, Halloween in America. Halloween was largely unheard of in early America. The early settlers were primarily Protestant Christians, and they disapproved of the festival's pagan roots. It wasn't until the 19th century that Halloween gained a foothold in the United States. A wave of Irish and Scottish immigrants arrived in America, bringing their Halloween traditions with them. These immigrants faced hardship and discrimination, but their customs gradually became integrated into American culture. Halloween provided a sense of community for these immigrants. It was a way to connect with their heritage, and they shared their traditions with their neighbors. Over time, Halloween evolved from a niche celebration to a widely observed holiday in America. Irish and Scottish immigrants played a pivotal role in establishing Halloween in their new homeland. Their stories highlight the power of cultural exchange, showing how traditions can adapt and thrive in new environments. Their influence helped shape Halloween into the beloved holiday it is today. The Great Pumpkin Halloween's commercial rise. The 20th century saw Halloween transformed into a commercial juggernaut. It became a major event for retailers and businesses across America. The rise of mass production made Halloween costumes and decorations widely available. Marketing campaigns capitalized on the excitement surrounding Halloween. Halloween candy became a staple and companies began producing themed treats specifically for the holiday. The tradition of trick-or-treating gained widespread popularity, further fueling the demand for Halloween candy. This commercialization, while driven by profit, also made Halloween more accessible. It allowed people from all walks of life to participate in the festivities.